after a lot of series of them. We have we've had Betty Vogt, we have Generoy, and so many of them. Now, how do you see this appointment? Do you think this man has what it takes to salvage the Nigerian football?
Well, first of all, let me commend the Nigeria Federation, the Glass House, for, of course, thinking it wise and to do the right thing, do the needful. It's been long overdue. This is something we've called for many times now, many months and weeks before this time. We've been experimenting. The last person on the saddle was Finidi. And of course, we had issues. He had put us in a situation where we are not even sure that we may qualify for the World Cup in 2026. It tells us that we need an experienced manager, yes, he's an experienced manager, not even coach, because now it's now a combination of coach
and management
of players.
Yes.
And I'm happy that the man they've gone for is a man that has played the game at the highest level, has also been at the helm of affairs in football administration in terms of coaching for Stuttgart, Bayern Munich, and other big teams in Germany. But that's a welcome development. It's good that he's coming. But if you ask me, there are coaches I feel we should have gone for, apart from him. We have a coach, an experienced coach like Hervé Renard. A coach that has won the Nations Cup with Zambia, a coach that has been there for Cote d'Ivoire. He was being linked with this job previously. So I was thinking,
but he was proving more superior than every other person based on his salaries, wages, and the NFF say we can't afford this now.
Well,
Nigeria,
terms, if you want the best, you have to go for the best. This may be somebody that may not have. You know, when you handle a club, it's quite different when you handle a national team. You're talking about grooming and getting players that play from different places in the globe, and you bring them together. You have just a matter of 6 to 7 days to bring them and bring in your tactics to bear for them to play the kind of football you want in a national assignment, be it national, international friendly, be it a Nations Cup qualifier or the World Cup qualifier. So the issue now is how will this go? And Hervé Renard has this symbiotic relationship.
But he might not have that particular time to go around the Nigerian club side to go and start looking for fresh blood. Maybe he will have to deal with the ones we already have because of the time frame.
Definitely, he's not going to go to Nigerian League. Yes, Nigerian League is starting this weekend. I'm not sure he will have that time. To go around and start. He may, watch some matches anyways. Maybe the Oriental derbies when you have a Rangers playing by international or Heartland, as the case may be. He can be there to watch and see if he can sieve out some players. But the onus now falls on him. I think basically what he has to do is to focus on the foreign leagues, because we'll get 90 or 95% of our players, watch them on TV, go to stadiums and watch them. Then you'll be able to say, hey, this is the player I can call. And apart from that, he should also spread his tentacles, not just in players that play in Western Europe, because that has always been the problem. We have players that play in Asia. We have players that play in the leagues that are not mainstream leagues in Europe, that are not in Western Europe. You have players playing in Albania. You have players playing in Malta.
Czech, in Malta.
You have players playing in Czech, India. Go to these places. Go to South African League, the PSL. Go to Tanzanian League. There are good players there. Go to Egypt. Go to Libya, America and all that. There are Nigerian players there also. You can bring in these players, and that is how you bring in about competition, so that the so-called big boys in quotes will know that if you're inviting 40 or 50 players in camp, and these players that are coming from no disrespect, obscure league, as some people will regard it, will know that, hey, I have competition. And football and being in the national team, wearing the colors of the national team, is about form. And when you are in the better form, you get into the national team. So I wish him all the very best anyways. But he has got a whole lot to do.
He's got a lot of work to do. He has to come in today, tomorrow, and start work, because the Super Eagles is in a very tight corner, very tight situation in the Nations Cup and in the World Cup qualifier. These are things he needs to hit ground and start doing. Now, do you think he should come with assistance, or do you think Nigerian football should give him some of the assistance that he needs here by appointing some of the coaches, people like Ilechukwu, who is doing well, young brain, vibrant young man in the coaching sector. Samson Siasia is out now. Do you think he should be part of the team? What do you think?
Well, ideally, I wouldn't like the fact that the NFF would dictate to a coach what he does. Any coach, an experienced manager of this nature, will always have his backroom staff. He can have 1 or 2 coaches coming with him. But what we can do is to draft in people like Fidelis Ilechukwu to be part of and the process. If we are drafting in people like Salisu Yusuf and other young managers in the league, the likes of Mangot, Mbwat, the coach of Plateau United,
yeah, Plateau United,
join. They can form a whole team. They bring in their ideas also. What it does is that it also helps for these coaches that are in the league also tell the manager, hey, we have some exceptional talent in the Nigeria Premier
that you can make use
we
of.
can bring in, maybe bringing them in. Let's try them out. If they are good there, of course, they can come. It's an opportunity also to market these players and market the Nigeria Premier Football.
All right, we're still talking sports on ABS Sports Plus this Tuesday morning. All right, away from the new coach, we wish Bruno Labida wish him success, and I believe the NFF is going to do everything within their reach to make sure that he's successful this time around. All right, let's go straight to a story that is boggling our minds, and people were like, wow, are you serious? This guy really wants to leave his club. I'm talking about Victor Osimhen, who is demanding £500,000 as wages for him to sign for a new club. Ike, you're already laughing. So it's laughable because people like Haaland earn £375,000. I wonder what.
Even Lionel Messi is not even earning up to
450.
So I wonder what he's doing.
Are you sure this is real or just that this just kind of a fake news? Because I can't believe this.
Well,
either.
The truth is this. Yes, we have to face the fact that Victor Osimhen has been in the form of his life at this point in time. And major clubs in Europe are calling for his signatures. Barcelona has been there. Chelsea of recent, we hear, have had talks with his agent. At some point in time, we started hearing about Arsenal also coming into the picture.
And the latest is the Al Ain.
But I feel such an amount of money he's talking about for personal terms could be paid by Al Ain. You go to the money.
Maybe they could pay 1 season, 2 seasons, and they tell him, hey, young man, you need to leave. No, but most of the times they don't. A player just left who signed last season has already left.
Most times, what really happened with these players is that they go to Saudi Arabia, they play 1 season or 2, and they found out that, hey, this is not where I'm meant to be. The kind of football dynamics I see there and what I see in Europe and also some major leagues across the world is quite different from that. It's going to take a whole lot for you to do that. But for Victor Osimhen, if he's going to Al Ain, yes, I'll tell him, you can actually ask for such amount of money because, you know, one thing about football is this, you are as good as when you are in form. The moment you're injured, the moment you're out of the picture, that may just be the twilight of your career. So if he's seeking for such with Al Ain, it's possible. But if he's seeking for such with clubs like Barcelona,
Chelsea,
and Chelsea, I don't think
it's going to happen. In the European League, I don't think anybody is going to oblige him such. Even Neymar was not paid such.
Neymar was not paid such, yes.
So I don't think any of the European League will pay such amount of money. Young man, you need to reconsider your stand so that it's either you... And now, if he stays back at Napoli, because by this week, the window should be closed. Yeah. And if he stays back at Napoli now, he's going to have a lot of problems.
Definitely he will move. Romelu Lukaku is coming to unite with his coach.
Yeah.
So definitely Romelu Lukaku, if he comes in there, he's going to have...
They might even move him to the Team B.
Yeah. What he needs to do now is to find a way, bring down his wage. Ideally, for me, I would say for Victor Osimhen, the good thing for him to do is come to a club like Chelsea or Arsenal. If he comes to Chelsea, he will get a head on, he will go straight into the team because the likes of Nicholas Jackson has been struggling. If he comes to Arsenal are looking for an out-and-out striker. Kai Havertz has come in there. He's a false 9 basically.
Yeah.
But he's been converted when he came to Chelsea. Gabriel Jesus has always been injured. He's
already injured now.
He's injured at this present time. If he comes into an Arsenal team that have...
He's going to make it very well.
Yeah. And midfielders that can give him the ball. I see Victor Osimhen as a player that can strike him 27, 28, 29, 30 goals goals in a season in all competitions.
You're correct. You're correct. All right, let's leave Victor Osimhen now and move to one of the issues that have been on the social media, where our former captain and former Chelsea player was trying to advise Jackson to say, young man, you need to keep quiet and keep scoring and do the needful. You're not carrying Chelsea the way you ought to carry Chelsea. Yeah. And Jackson scored the goal against Wolves and started telling Mikel Obi to shut up. And Mikel has replied him and said, young man, I will only shut up when you keep scoring. Yeah. Because these are players who have played the game with Chelsea, won a lot of laurels with Chelsea, and they are not seeing Jackson as someone that is up and doing as a striker he ought to be. You see him lose one-on-one a lot and things like that. And Mikel Obi said, we can't keep quiet. We need to talk to this young lad to brace up and do the needful. So what's your take? He said, score every day and I will shut up.
Well, Mikel is actually a legend. He's a club hero with Chelsea. We know his exploits, winning the Europa League, winning the Champions League, and other competitions he's won with Chelsea. I think he has got the right to actually have an opinion on what is happening at Chelsea presently. Yeah. They are poor form, and you see the amount of money they've spent in the past 2 seasons. Chelsea spending over £400 million, and of course you have a striker that like Nicholas Jackson, who the onus falls on you. You have some players supporting you on the flanks, the likes of Madueke, Palmer, and all that. Yeah. And you're not living up to expectation. You are expected to be a cult hero, just like the likes of Didier Drogba, what he has done.
Exactly.
And I expected Nicholas Jackson to focus on what he has done, rejig his play, look at where he's not getting right, and not to come on social media and start a social media war. Now, what he has done now is that he has brought himself out.
Yeah.
If the spotlight was not on you, now the spotlight is now on you, because you're talking to a club legend and a hero.
Yeah.
So Nicholas Jackson, for me, I think he should calm down as a young person, focus on what you're doing, and focus on impacting and scoring goals. That is the reason why you are signed, and that is why you are the number 9 striker for a club like Chelsea Football Club, who are not delivering. Save for the 6 goals they scored against Wolverhampton, you begin to ask yourself, when was the last time we had that scoreline? It's been a very poor form of late, and you know the amount of money spent on you. We know the weight of banging in goals is on your shoulders. You expect that with the offer given to you and with the chances being given to you, you expect that every season you get at least 25 goals in all competitions, but he's not delivering. Come and score in a one-on-one situation, you miss many sitters. So it's despicable that he's responding. Mikel never came out and insulting. He was only advising. So I expect, okay, young man, okay, fine. Thank you for your advice. Thank you for what you have done for the club. Let's work on bettering my form. That's what I expected from me, instead of this tirade on social media, which is totally ridiculous and unacceptable.
Well, that's it. It's totally unacceptable. But if he wants to live up to expectation, he has to shut Mikel Obi up with scoring more goals. Yes. And I think that's what will change the narratives. All right, the world is mourning the passing away of Steven Goran Eriksson, the former 3 Lion coach who has been battling with cancer for many years, and finally the cancer subdued him and he has passed away. We have nothing to say but just to say may his soul rest in perfect peace. A perfect gentleman, a man that changed the narrative. He was the first coach that brought Theo Walcott to World Cup at the age of 16. Yeah. And he really created a lot of controversies, but he stood his ground and said, this guy, there is a lot in him, and that was why I brought him.
I remember that same World Cup, 2002 World Cup. Yeah. That was the World Cup where we had the likes of Femi Opabumi. That was 16 years.
Yeah, exactly.
There also a player we had, Justice Christopher.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm asking myself today, where is Justice Christopher?
Injury took him off. He had a very terrible injury at the time, and he couldn't. He had a relapse of that injury.
Because he was one of the best defensive midfielders.
Defensive
despite
midfielders.
the fact that he only played 3 competitions.
Yeah.
The spotlight was always on him, but you know that's always the story about.
You're talking about Christopher Justice. What of Jerome Shapoke, who played against Yugoslavia when Yugoslavia defeated 5-1 and had a shoulder injury, and that was the end of it. His career. This was a regional player then, those days in the German.
It's quite unfortunate. These things happen to footballers sometimes. I can remember vividly there was a time it happened to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United.
Yes.
You go to their website, the jersey number 23 is still there, but for 3 seasons
he was not there.
Playing.
Yes.
So it's quite unfortunate, and but for Sven-Göran Eriksson, he brought his own brand of football, changed the whole lot, and brought in his tactical kind of football.
Exactly.
I think he was the one that even started the kind of diamond football formation.
For
at that time,
for the Three Lions,
Lions. And, well, we'll miss him.
We'll miss him.
Rest in peace.
Yes. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Away from that, we will beat Benin Republic and Rwanda in September. This is coming from Ndidi, say that he's committed and he is very convinced that the Super Eagles are going to defeat Benin Republic and Rwanda. Do you see this happening?
Well, we're talking
knowing fully well that Gene Roy has been our former coach.
Well, the truth is this: on paper, let's even say, face the fact. On paper, those two nations we made mention of are like rookies to us. But the problem we have in our team has always been administration and management of the team. Who is Benin Republic?
And also, I still want to say, majority of our players are not living up to expectations. So many of them don't need to be called. I'm telling the gospel because they don't show commitment. They don't show commitment in the field of play.
It still boils down to commitment, like you say. Now, the leagues end on Saturday, on Sunday. You have a World Cup qualifier coming up the next weekend, which is Saturday on Sunday. And you know that the Nigerian player played on Sunday. What stops you? You must have booked your flight for Monday or Tuesday.
Exactly.
And you should have been in the country or wherever in that country as a Tuesday or Wednesday. What happens? Most of our players come a day or two
to the match.
So it's about that commitment. You ask them what were they doing after the league matches. But if they have a league,
everybody that wants to move, that knows if the NFF releases the team list like a month, everybody should have booked their flights. So it shouldn't be a situation whereby within the week.
The clubs know.
Yes, the clubs know. So these are issues that needs to be trashed, so that by Monday, everybody might have hit the camp. Everybody should be in the camp by Monday, so that from Tuesday to Friday, you're already training, you're already strategizing how to play.
I'm happy that we are getting a foreign manager, a foreign personality, because most times when you have
indigenous coaches
handling the national team, these things can happen. They
just take them for granted.
But you have a foreign manager coming in, these things cannot happen. It's about disciplinary issues. It's about commitment to the drive, about being focused and dedicated to the team. When this happens, it's an opportunity to call other players to come in. Hey, we have over 1,000 foreign-based players.
Millions of them
so
out
you can
there.
Always draft them in.
Exactly.
Because I'm feeling that in the present Super Eagles squad, there are some players that are feeling that, hey, we are above the law. We are above the... I've had some cases where some of the assistant managers even carry the kits of these players coming in.
Imagine.
So if you have an assistant manager carrying the kits of and the players and the luggages and some of his personal effects coming in when the player is coming in, what do you think the assistant manager can tell the player during work? He cannot tell the player anything.
And also,
himself.
NFF keeping bonuses of these players who come back home to play. I am yet to understand why this has become a tradition in football in Nigeria. Every time people go, and I know that CAF and FIFA always map out money to sort out all these things. Why do they still keep these bonuses?
Sacramento, you see, it's just sometimes it's about. Sometimes I begin to ask myself, what is wrong with our sports administrator? Let me even veer away from football. We know what happened at the Olympic Games. Favour Ofili, his name was not registered in the 100 meters. Few days to the 100 meters, and the AFN and the NOC are giving us flimsy excuses. The same thing about the cyclists that got there. Of course, what we heard from the Ministry of Sports was that her name was not meant to be there. That her name was on the 19th, but the 18th a nation that was meant to feature did not feature. They were banned, and of course Nigeria filled in the void left by them. And I begin to ask myself, Nigeria Cycling Federation, are you telling me that you never had a professional what's it called, bicycle down just in case if these things happen, you just zero in? And he had to take the athletes getting a bicycle from the German team so as to feature, and that was even a training bicycle, not even a competition bicycle. So it all boils down to administration.
We need, in fact, the issues that we need to declare state of emergency in our sports, because sports fetch us a lot of money, bring Nigerians together. The unity of this country should not be compromised. Because we just feed in people who are not technocrats, who doesn't even understand what administration is all about. They are just keen about position. We want to be, I am the this, I am the, just to name the person, and he doesn't have the IQ how to arrange these things. Look at how shameful our Olympic outing was. It was a very terrible thing.
Very terrible situation.
Very terrible situation.
13 billion naira, taking 82 athletes, and no podium.
No podium. Not even a bronze medal. Not even a plastic to come back home with. It's terrible.
Quite unfortunate.
It's terrible.
I ask myself, what happened to the likes of Toby Amusan? What happens to the likes of Adekuru?
It's terrible, because if you call them, the presidency need to call these athletes and hear from them one-on-one to find out what exactly happened that all these things happen. It's terrible. All right, we're still on ABS Sports Plus this Tuesday morning. Man United and Napoli have reached an agreement for McTominay. The Scotland young guy has been signed by Napoli. And I wonder why Man U had to discard this young guy who has been doing well.
Well, I think it's an issue between him and Ten Hag.
Ten Hag.
It's just indifference there. Sometimes the manager just want. It equally happened in Arsenal when we had the likes of
Aubameyang, with
at some point in time. It equally happened with Lacazette. It's not as if we know the form of McTominay. He's been a very prolific midfielder. He's created chances for Manchester United. He has also scored goals when he needed to score goals. But it just happens, and when a manager falls out with a player, I think for me the right thing to do is for the player to move on and find pastures anew. That's the right thing. So if he's moving, all the best.
Yeah, he's been signed by Napoli, and I believe he's going to be getting more players. It's going to become more competitive because he'll be dragging with Anguissa, the Cameroonian. They will be, either they know how to manage them. Although I believe in Conte, I know what he'll be able to do there. All right, we wish him well, to play well, and see how Napoli is going to go this season. The last story before we leave is I'm ready to contribute to Nigerian football again. These are the words coming from Samson Siasia, who just finished a 5 years football activities ban. And he's saying, if called upon, he still have that. While he was on ban, he had the time to go for some refresher courses and to refresh himself. And now he is loaded that he would do exceptionally if he's been brought in to assist in one way or the other.
Well, the good thing is that yes, he's out of the ban, but I like his attitude. I like his zeal. Even in the course of that, Siasia was going for refresher courses. And I'm quite sure that within this period, he attended about 4 refresher courses. That's basically what you need to do as a top-class manager. If you're a top-class manager, you have to find a way to interface with your fellow managers in the globe, know the latest trend, the latest model in football, and that's exactly what Siasia had done. And if he's coming back, I think he should be given the opportunity. Maybe he may start from the aged team, like the under.
But don't you see him bring him in to work with the new manager?
Everything is possible. It's still about the NFF weighing their pros and cons and know, hey, do we want him? In what capacity can he come in? What is the agreement to give him? Remember, when these managers come in, they also come with their package also. Yes. It's not a manager that you're going to give a peanut to come in and be a member of the backroom staff, all because you want him. Samson Siasia have got what it takes to manage the Nigeria Professional Football League club. He has got what it takes to manage clubs outside the shores of the country. So he's a top-class manager, and if he's coming back, good to see him back again after the blip on his career.
Yes. All right, NFF, the ball is in your court to know if you draft in Samson Siasia to assist the new manager, or since there is a vacancy in the under 20, he could still move on because that's his specialty, where he has done great, brought in laurels for the country, discovering talent, and he knows how to handle the young lads. So the ball is in your court to do the right thing. So maybe the technical committee it should make some recommendations as early as possible. We don't have the time to be, lagging behind concerning all the football matches waiting for the Super Eagles. All right, on this note, this is where we'll draw the curtain close on ABS Sports Flash this Tuesday morning. Ike, it's an honor having you to come in on our program. All right, my name is Silekwe Medane. Bye for now. I got here with the politics and Hausa. I got about it. I'm not the to me. I'm a black man.